Hey guys, today I want to talk about why I canceled my SLATE Everything bundle of plugins, and am currently no longer using any of SLATE's plugins except for their virtual microphone and the two free plugins, which are Revival and Monster. And actually, Monster was probably my favorite SLATE plugin even before I canceled my subscription. So I would encourage you to get that plugin because sometimes it's just awesome, especially on drum buses. It can sometimes just do crazy things, and it's a free plugin. So when I got my SLATE Everything bundle, it made a world of difference in my own mixing because I'd never had access to so many different analog emulations of different gear, and being able to relate the gear that I was reading about in post and on vlogs and things to what I was using, and start to learn what the sound of a FET compressor, 1176 compressor, or putting the distressor on opto and knowing what that sounded like, or seeing a distressor in someone's studio and then going, oh yeah, I've got the distressor emulation, and having access to all those hardware emulations was super helpful. That said, I realized after I started getting better and better at mixing over about the course of a year and a half of using the SLATE plugins, that I was starting to gravitate and actually enjoy the sound of other plugin companies' plugins more, particularly for the fact that I found that other companies, such as actually the one I use the most now is iZotope. I found that iZotope's plugins are not very intuitive at all. And so I think they wouldn't have helped me very much at all when I was a beginner mixer. They would have confused the heck out of me. But as I'd used them as well for about a year and a half, and had started to understand the sound of different compressors and saturation and things, then I started to really enjoy the fact that with iZotope's plugins, because they're so forward thinking and they have so many features, which even after years of using them now, I'm still discovering new features in their plugins, that I really enjoyed that more. And that for me, it was a lot more creative to be able to have very forward-thinking products. And their new Nectar product, having that all as an all-in-one bundle, I found that was like the virtual mix rack for me for vocals, but on steroids. And so I've actually really started gravitating towards more forward-thinking types of, this isn't an insult to SLATE, but just I find that those plugins are a little bit more towards the future, towards like, we don't want to just create analog emulations, we want to give you abilities to do things that you could never do before. And the same with like a company like FabFilter and their Pro Q3. I mean, this EQ does things that no plugin hardware has ever been able to do. And so I found that I was using that kind of stuff a lot more. So I think that the SLATE bundle is great for people that all they need is something very simple and that sounds awesome, and that there isn't a lot of ways to screw it up. Throw it on a track and it's going to make your track sound better, probably. And there's a couple, an attack and release knob and a mix knob, and you just go with that. But as your ears get better and as you become more creative in your mixing, if that's a goal of yours, then I think that the SLATE Everything bundle, at least it's not for me. And I'm excited about using plugins that look towards the future a little bit more and give you more possibilities of mid-side and side chaining things, and being able to EQ certain frequencies out that in a compressor so they don't affect certain frequencies you don't want them to, and a lot of multi-band compressors, and just so many more options. So that's why I canceled my SLATE Everything bundle. It might not be the right thing for you to do, but there are other plugins that sound just as good or better, and then once you buy them, you own them forever, and they give you more features. So to me, I was kind of like, I feel like that's the way for me to go at this point. That said, I'm very thankful that the SLATE Everything bundle existed, and that I got to use it for a while, and that it really helped me improve my ability to mix and the ability that I have to use my ear to mix music.